Good first game. The first half there wasn't a whole lot to be disappointed about. I thought our team played really well. I thought they played together. I thought the pace, the attack was really, really good. I think the kids game, brought some energy to that building. 11 a.m. game, but I don't. I hope we can do this every year, and I hope the school districts across the state, because, some are a little harder to allow that, and I hope they find a way to allow that, because I think it's hard to argue that it's not a positive experience for that age group to go to a game. It's rare to be able to go to a game with your classmates. They go to a game with their grandparents or their parents, and that's a different feel and that's a different experience. But to be able to go in the middle of a school day and to be able to be on a college campus and be able to do it with your classmates, that's different. And the reality of it is there's probably some kids that maybe don't have that opportunity to go to a game that got to go to a game today. That's our hope in doing it. And so I hope moving forward we can do that. I think that I appreciate our administration doing a great job with it. I appreciate my staff doing a great job with it. And then I think our players were excited to play in front of them, and I think our players put on a pretty good show today.
Heard you mention in radio postgame you'd had conversations with Briley about redshirting. Is that a set decision? Can you give us any more insight into those
Briley came to me
conversations?
about 3 weeks ago and said, there were some things that she wanted to work on, and so we kind of put it on the back burner then. But now you have to kind of make a decision. The plan right now is to redshirt her. She also knows that, we don't have, we've got, I don't want to say a thin bench right now, but if circumstances change, she's got to still be ready. But that'll be her choice. It's not my choice, but that's the plan right now.
And then Yoki not playing in the second half, was that just didn't need her, wanted to get other players out there?
It wasn't that.
Okay.
I think we're fine. They told me she was available. There was something in that ankle that kind of popped, but, that's all I got. Now, Yoki, they told me she was available. And I said, well, obviously the margin was this, and we got games coming forward. So we're hopeful that it wasn't anything that is lingering, but that's where it sits today.
Well, then behind her you had Kennedy Taylor, who put on a show today. Just what did you see from her today, and did you see that coming from her? Well,
that's one of the reasons why we recruited Kennedy, for moments like this, right? And one of the reasons we wanted Amani to take that next step. Kennedy has shown in practice that she's got a real knack for the offensive rebounding. I think that's continued to get better as she's got familiarized herself with the offense of where those opportunities lie. I like the way she got herself to the free throw line. We knew that Kennedy was a capable player there. We felt like that was an improvement backing up Lee, and you saw the reason why today.
What's kind of the difference between offensive and defensive rebounding, and what does she do well offensively to get those boards?
She just has shown a real knack for knowing when the shot goes up, right? And she's just shown a real knack for finding her way in there, and she's really a strong player, but she also jumps better than she's one of those players that she doesn't look like she jumps out well when she shoots it, but then when she's chasing the ball, she looks like she jumps really well. And, she's just got that lower body strength that people tend to bounce off of her, so she's a good, strong player.
You got to play a bunch of players today and solid minutes for a lot of people. What were you kind of looking for? Are you still experimenting with lineups, or were you seeing what?
You want to get, I think, more from a defensive. We had kind of a crazy lineup out there in the early part of the fourth that probably isn't going to be out there together much. But from a defensive standpoint, we've got to get better at guarding a lot of stuff. And you saw us have some trouble in that stretch. They were 6 of 8 in the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. And you saw us lose some players. But that's just like a Maupin, a Lester. They have to get more experience in guarding that stuff. So it was good for them to have to go through that. good for them to they ended the fourth quarter better than the early part, so I felt good about that. They had to play through some fatigue. I wanted to get Taryn because she'd been out, so I wanted to get Taryn a couple different rotations where she was the point, but she was also the two guard. And fortunately for a game like today, we were able to do all of that.
So you said Briley came to you wanting to work on some things. Is it injury related, the plan that's in place, or is it just like depth related? What's the deal?
Injury related in what way?
Like is the red shirt, the planned red shirt based on an injury? Or?
No, not at all. I think I think that she wanted. I hate to. In our conversations, there were things she wanted to improve. She felt like that. Obviously, we've got a pretty deep team. Those opportunities might be limited, so she wanted to have more confidence in that. We kind of put it on the back burner. That was about 3 weeks ago when we had the initial conversation. And then obviously we have to make a decision now. Now she also knows that she's got to keep herself ready, because if something were to change, or if she changes her mind, she could always change her mind. Her and I had that discussion. It was a tough decision for her, but that's where she's at sitting here today. Does that mean that's where she's going to be in a week? I don't know. That'll be discussions that Briley and I have going forward.
We saw the Taryn Sides minutes today, and she was really efficient on offense. What's her role like off the bench for you guys, and what do you think she did well today?
I thought she played with good pace. We want her shooting. We want her shot ready every time. But we also want her to be able to run the show so that we can move Serena around. Thought she had good moments today, but I also thought she showed moments today where she's only been back in practice about a week now. So, every time that we can get her as many reps as possible at both, she'll get more comfortable. But, yeah, I thought she played well today, and I thought she did some really good things.
And you guys shot the ball well from three in the first half. I think you guys were like 42% from three in the first half. Was that just getting good looks, or what did you see in terms of that efficient shooting?
I thought we had a lot of really good looks. It started off from the tip, right? We went right up the sideline. Poindexter was aggressive from that corner three. She had a great look to her early. I thought the ball moved really, really timely to people. I thought our offensive rebounding got us some extra looks. I think Serena got one off offensive rebounding. So, I thought we had really, really good looks in the first half. And I think it was a combination of our fast break was going well. I think it was a combination of we executed pretty good. All the above.
9 steals tonight, or today, I guess. Tamira mentioned that you guys were sort of focusing on trying to deflect the ball more. Did you see that sort of come to fruition today when you guys were able to, bite on those rotation passes?
Green Bay was one of the best teams in the country last year at I think they were 4th best at turnovers. They only averaged like 12 a game. They were one of the top 10 teams of offensive efficiency. Watching that game, I would have thought that we forced 16, 17, 18 turnovers. And I look up and they only had 10. But we had 9 steals on those. So we took advantage of the very few turnovers we forced. We need to be more active, and we need to continue to be more consistent in that. I thought Zia Walker made some really big plays in the first half, a lot of hustle plays that turned into points. So it's an area that we got to keep working on. I think we can be good at it, but we're not anywhere near close. But having said that, this is a really good team at taking care of the basketball, and we knew that coming in.
When you have such a veteran team and team that's played together so long, is it a challenge to get Kennedy and Tamira to integrate it into that, and how well do you think they've done sort of fitting in with established?
Yeah, it hasn't been tough at all. I think both came in with a great attitude. Both came in with a teamwork attitude. Now you're never gonna. It's hard to expedite the years that Serena and Jay have played together, right? It's hard to expedite those things, but that's rosters across the country now. I think they've done a great job. And, Tamira has, she's a fun player to watch, right? She's a fun player to watch play, and she's got some craftiness to her. She's got little swagger to her game, and she's fun to watch. But both her and Kennedy certainly played well today.
Anything else for Coach Mittie? Coach, if you had to just pick one thing that impressed you most about your team today, what would it be?
Well, I think coming off a game where we were really, really sloppy, the fact that we were able to play at a high pace and do it pretty efficiently, I was impressed with. It's an area that we've spent a lot of time on. That area, and I think defensive rebounding. Now, we felt like we had a rebound advantage today, but without Lee in the second half, it was good to see us have others go rebound the basketball. So those two areas. I know you only asked for one, but I'm an overachiever. Thank you.